Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. So if you did not see the latest update, Bronzong will be getting Payback. It seems like this is the one that's hyped the most, so I'm going to make a video on Payback for Bronzong first. This is going to analyze Bronzong in Ultra League versus Great League. I think Ultra Premier or regular Open Ultra League is where Bronzong shines the most as an XL. I'll do one for Great League too, don't worry about it, but for now we're going to start off with the Ultra League one. As you see, Bronzong maxed out at near 2500, so it can go to level 50. It's a Steel/Psychic type, it has very high defense, and it maxes out really high, so it's a really tanky mon, and it probably served you really well in Ultra League. Well, good news is it's getting Payback. So, how useful is it? It already sports a very good moveset. Confusion is a strong psychic attack that lets you charge energy quickly. It also has Psyshock, and it has Heavy Slam and Psychic. So, has a very versatile move pool already as it is, so it's really interesting that Bronzong is going to get Payback. Again, this is Ultra League level 51. I'm going to do it mostly for Premier because, well, level 50 and 51. But yeah, I'm going to do this for Ultra Premier because Bronzong is probably best used in Ultra Premier, not in Open just because Guillotine exists. Anyways, as you see for Bronzong, it has a variety of resistances. Actually, has a ton of resistances. It resists like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It resists like 3 times as many typings than it's weak to. It's weak to Dark Fire, Ghost, and Ground. Now, the bad thing about its weaknesses is that those weaknesses are plentiful. There's a lot of Dark types like Umbreon. There's a lot of Fire types like Talonflame. Ghost types like Jealous Centaur running around. And, of course, Ground types, well, not really a lot, but you know what? There's something called Galarian Stunfisk that gets now also an XL. The benefit of Bronzong is it resists so many things. It's an absolute monster. So the question is it really good? Payback. Alright, so here's Bronzong for Ultra Premier. As you see, I got the 2 shield. Here's where it regularly places. As you see here in the 2 shield, 67. Ultra Premier is on the right, so everything's correct. That's the 2 shield, the 1 shield, and the 0s. So, judging based on all of this data, it generally sticks above 60%. So, if we give it Payback, let's see what happens. I'm assuming you still want Psyshock for bait, and you do get Stab, but here, let's see what Payback actually does. So, here's Payback. So, let's see, does it actually change anything in the 2 shield? Let's see, Payback increases it, but barely, like 1% somewhat. I mean, it rounds up to 69% if that makes anybody feel better like me. Like, greatest number of all time, for sure, other than 420. And 1 shield, as you see, 66. And in the 0s, not too... Actually, in the 0s, Payback actually nukes a ton of things, so that's why it rises. So, Payback Bronzong is actually factually better than the original version. Like I said, you might want... I think you should keep Psyshock just for the fact you do have a stab move that has relatively low amount... Like, it's a... Basically, it's like a bait move, and it can still do damage with stab. You're going to need Psyshock for those Venusaurs, so I wouldn't switch it to Bulldoze just to cover anything. Besides, I think Confusion and Psyshock are a pretty good combination. Alright, my favorite part of every video is the ppoke.com matrix. Please consider donating. As you see here, I literally have Bronzong XL with like every... Well, not every combination, but here's Psyshock Payback, here's Bulldoze Payback, and here's Heavy Slam Payback. Those are like the most viable moveset combinations, and then you have the regular Payback, like... Well, not regular Payback, the regular Bronzong XL right here. So, if we hit go, here's what we get. It looks to be like, okay, so here's the comparison we're making. This block right here from the top 3. As you see here, you should be able to beat well, I think Ampharos does beat you most of the time just because Thunder Punch is so spamming. And it doesn't look to be a titanical difference. Ah, here we go. Okay, so it looks like with Payback, you can beat Galvantula XL. So but you have to, okay, so you beat it just straight Psyshock. So with Psyshock, you can beat Galvantula. So that's already normal. So it's you kind of need Psyshock in Bronzong XL, as you see here. So I don't really see too much of an excessive difference. As you see, you're able to beat Skarmory XL with Bronzong just because you're able to resist all the flying attacks. And you also beat Slowbro pretty convincingly, even without, like, well, with Payback, it would be okay, but as you see here, You resist, I mean, both of you resist, so what happens here? Yeah, so, okay, so with Payback, you have a convincing win, but as you see here, you resist Ice Beam, so it's not too much of a difference, you would still win. And nothing too much different in the 2 shield, to be honest with you. In the zeros, I think, is where we'll see the biggest difference. Here's the 1 shield. In the 1 shield, everything relatively remains the same. You beat Shadow Dragonite, you beat Exeggutor, you still beat Galvantula XL, so as you see in the 1 shield, it's still incredibly powerful, but there's nothing that really changes. Okay, here's one thing, you do beat Skarmory XL with Payback, but I think, do you have to bait? Well, let's see, you bait and then Payback. So as long as you hit a Payback on Skarmory, you can take this match. So Payback does allow you to fit the Skarmory matchup, which is pretty dang good. Considering most of everything does, like, Payback is probably the only move that Skarmory doesn't resist in Bronzong's arsenal. So you beat Galvantula, you beat Skarmory, so I think Skarmory XL in the 1 shield is really the only thing that's really notable. In the zeros, we might see the biggest difference, because you flip the most matchups in the zeros. In the zeros, you can actually beat Driplim, so that's actually pretty big. So it looks like XL Driplim can be beat. I don't know if it's, well, I don't think this is an XL Driplim. Yeah, this is an XL. I'm pretty sure an XL Driplim can beat you. So let's assume this is an XL. So if we assume it's an XL, Bronzong, okay, so Bronzong can still win. Just pretty dang good. So assuming that there's no chip damage, you will barely live. 1 Payback can do 171 damage, so it can, in fact, KO. So the keyword is can. So if you have a, yeah, the keyword, you can beat Driplim in the zeros. You can also, you lose to Shadow Champ, strangely enough. Well, not really. Well, actually, you beat Shadow Champ. I mean, Magnezone, so it looks like you can beat Magnezone with Bulldoze. Well, you beat Magnezone with Bulldoze. And that's pretty much, well, you could be Togekiss with Payback? Well, no, I think with Togekiss, what you do is you go, you're actually going to go straight Psyshock here. Yeah, you don't actually need, you don't need Payback for Togekiss. You delete Toxicroak on the face of the planet, and yeah. As you see here, not too much of a difference at all in even scenarios. Obviously, if you're up shield, you're going to have a great time. But from the looks of it, okay, so with Payback with shield advantage, you can flip Charizard. You can also, nope, you lose against Alolan because it effectively walls you in a sense. You beat Snorlax with shield advantage. So as you see here, well, in Bronzong and 2 and 0s is going to be really strong. But as you see, not a titanical difference. In even shield scenarios, you flip probably 1 or 2 matchups. With shield advantage, you flip a ton of match. Well, it looks like you flip what you basically normally flip, as you see here. The matrix is fairly even as far as matchups go. They're probably, like I said, with Galvantula XL and Skarmory XL, and in Skarmory you only flip the 1 shield and you have to land a Payback anyway. So, is it really good? Based on the data we gather here, Bronzong XL and Ultra Premier with Payback isn't as hyped up as it is put out to be. Alright, so unfortunately, Bronzong XL in Ultra Premier with Payback is not great. Sadly, do not give in to the hypey. Bronzong XL with Payback is not great. It flips some matchups, but honestly, like with Bulldoze and with Psyshock, it's good enough. You don't really need to worry about Payback. But if you really want to use it, it can flip 1 or 2 matchups as we analyzed in the Matrix. Not terrible, but it's not the best thing since Sliced Arceus or anything like that, or Sliced Giratina or Registeel, anything of that sort. Bronzong is a beast, however, you don't need Payback to make it even beastlier. And that's the analysis, guys. If you guys would please like and subscribe, I do content like this all the time. I'll be analyzing the rest of the Payback Pokemon, but if there's one you want me to look for ahead of time, please put it on the comments below. Again, Pokemon did get Leaf Storm and Payback today, so I'll be doing analysis for each one. But if you want one like on speed dial, again, just comment below. Again, please like and subscribe. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.